Energy crisis hits UK, soaring gas bills, blackouts, protests, then cut to Ukrainian conflict explosions, damage gas pipelines. Winter 2022. The UK found itself in the grip of an energy crisis unlike any other. Prices for gas and electricity shot up by 80%, leaving households with a gut-wrenching decision: heat or eat. Businesses buckled under the pressure of unsustainable energy costs. The country, once a global pioneer in energy, was left vulnerable by years of underinvestment and reliance on external energy sources. But the problem went deeper than rising bills. The true underlying issue: Europe's dependency on Russian gas, a vulnerability ruthlessly exposed by Russia's brutal invasion of Ukraine. When Russia launched its invasion of Ukraine in February 2022, it sent shockwaves through the European energy market. As Russian gas supplies were cut off, Europe faced an energy supply crisis, and the UK too felt the pressure. The UK was already exposed, having long relied on gas imports from Russia and other global sources, and the war brought these vulnerabilities into sharp focus. As the UK scrambled for alternatives, one solution began to emerge, not from the North Sea, but from 3,800 kilometers away, from the vast, sun-soaked deserts of Morocco, a country that might just hold the key to powering the UK's future and shaping its geopolitical landscape. Enter the Xlinks Morocco-UK Power Project, a multi-billion-dollar gamble that seeks to harness Morocco's solar and wind power to solve Britain's energy crisis. The plan is ambitious to say the least, laying 4 undersea cables between Morocco's Sahara desert and the UK, carrying 10.5 gigawatts of clean energy. That's enough to power 7 million homes in the UK by 2030. Here's what Xlinks is offering: 10.5 gigawatts of power generated from vast solar and wind farms in Morocco's Sahara desert, the world's largest battery storage system capable of storing 20 gigawatt hours of energy, 4 undersea HVDC cables, the longest ever built, bringing power across the Mediterranean and the Atlantic. By 2030, this project promises to revolutionize Britain's energy landscape, but the price tag for this ambitious project: $22 billion, more than twice the UK's 2023 NHS budget deficit. The stakes couldn't be higher. Securing funding for a project of this scale is no easy task. The funding challenges: a $22 billion gamble. Xlinks developers are seeking funding from multiple sources, but securing these funds has been nothing short of challenging. The project's massive price tag has raised concerns among UK taxpayers, with questions about the viability of such a high-risk, high-reward venture. Xlinks is asking for government subsidies to guarantee a strike price for the energy delivered, which could be higher than the current prices of offshore wind energy in the UK. Add to that the technical challenges. No one has ever built cables this deep, 3,800 meters below sea level, or cables this long. One failure could cause catastrophic outages, leaving millions without power. And then there's Morocco itself. Despite its growing renewable potential, Morocco's credit rating is just BB+, a relatively high-risk rating for borrowing. If something goes wrong, it could be a heavy blow to investors. So the question remains, who will foot the bill? UK taxpayers or private investors? So why Morocco? The UK isn't just betting on renewable energy here, it's also betting on a political and strategic partnership, and the stakes are high. This energy deal goes far beyond electricity. It's tied to political alliances, economic interests, and historical context. In 2022, the UK made a controversial move by recognizing Moroccan sovereignty over the disputed region of Western Sahara. For decades, the UK had remained neutral on this matter, but with the Xlinks project looming, the UK suddenly shifted its stance. The question is, was this a coincidence, or was this a diplomatic maneuver to secure Morocco's cooperation on this massive energy project? Western Sahara has been at the heart of a long-running dispute between Morocco and the Sahrawi Arab Democratic Republic, with tensions simmering for decades. The UK's recognition of Morocco's sovereignty in this region sent a clear signal. Morocco's territorial integrity was now being supported by a major power, and with the cables set to run through this disputed territory, the timing was anything but coincidental. The UK's recognition was not just a diplomatic gesture. For Morocco, it was a strategic victory, especially as it seeks to gain international legitimacy for its claims over Western Sahara. With the Xlinks project, Morocco now has more leverage on the global stage. Before we continue, make sure to like and subscribe for more videos like this. The UK's recognition of Morocco's sovereignty wasn't just about diplomacy, it was about securing energy. By recognizing Morocco's control over Western Sahara, the UK ensured it had a green light to build the cables through the region. It's a strategic trade-off, energy for recognition. Meanwhile, Morocco stands to benefit greatly. It will gain new economic ties with the UK and the EU, and this project could solidify its position as a key player in global renewable energy. But Morocco is also positioning itself to become a hub for green energy in Africa, exporting not just power to the UK but to other European markets as well. But what about the funding? Here's where things get even more interesting. Morocco isn't shouldering this entire $22 billion project on its own. Enter UAE companies, most notably Masdar, subsidiary of the state-backed Abu Dhabi National Energy Company, and ADQ, the Abu Dhabi Investment Authority. These UAE-backed firms are heavily invested in the project, providing a significant portion of the funding. The United Arab Emirates has been a prominent player in the global push for renewable energy, particularly in solar power. Through Masdar, the UAE has developed some of the world's largest solar projects, and now it sees a huge opportunity in Morocco. Not only does it help diversify the UAE's investments beyond oil, but it also strengthens the UAE's position as a leader in the global green energy revolution. The energy analyst Bruce Johnson said, and I'm here quoting, that Masdar and the UAE are playing a key role in funding this project, not just for financial returns, but for geopolitical influence. The UAE wants to expand its footprint in renewable energy, and Morocco's strategic location and resources offer a perfect opportunity. They see this project as a way to tie Morocco, the UK, and the broader European market to their own energy network. For Morocco, the partnership with the UAE brings not only capital, but expertise. Masdar, with its track record in renewable energy, is lending its technological know-how and investment muscle, and in return, Morocco benefits from access to international markets and expertise, accelerating its green energy ambitions. But let's take a step back. While this project promises to secure the UK's energy future, it also raises some critical questions. What happens when a country becomes dependent on a foreign power for such a significant portion of its energy needs? In this case, Morocco could become not just a supplier of power, but a geopolitical player with leverage over Britain's energy policy. Could Morocco one day dictate terms, just as Russia did with Europe's gas? And with the UAE heavily invested in the project, could they use their influence to steer Morocco's decisions, influencing energy politics across the Mediterranean and Europe? And Xlinks CEO Simon Moorish said, quote, "This isn't about power plays, this is a partnership for the future. Europe can't go green alone. We need to share the sun and the wind." But is it really just about partnership? Or is the UK, in its rush to solve its energy crisis, handing Morocco and the UAE unprecedented power? The Xlinks project is a high-stakes gamble that could reshape energy grids, politics, and global alliances. The UK's green future is tied to the desert sun, but will that come at too high a price? The UK's energy crisis was a wake-up call, but in its quest for a solution, could Britain be swapping one dependency for another, one that gives Morocco and its UAE backers control over a critical aspect of its energy future? What do you think? Drop your thoughts below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more new videos. Stay tuned.